Hi guys, what's up? Hopefully this doesn't sound too much like a broken record, but I wanted to do another quick video on how to handle problems in the team discipline and stuff like that. So I'll show you something really quick. This comes from a little comment that was on the last video. Somebody noted that at the beginning of the game, you can give yourself better ability to handle team discipline. My rating here is 50% when I go look at my own profile, which is kind of course, right in the middle. I don't remember what it is that I said at the very beginning. I am known for being a strict disciplinarian. Apparently, I think that's because I've fined players before for poor performances, something that we'll continue to do if we run into it, though we haven't really run into it that much or that far. We have had a kind of strange thing happen here, so it's not really that strange, and I mentioned it in this morning's video. Romeo Lavia, who is our, I think, most expensive player on the squad, got upset. He wants to start more games, and the truth is that he actually has a reason to be upset when you look at this. I mean, we got him in here as a star player, but as you can see, there are a number of times that we didn't use him. These were all strategic, right? You can see that before, when these games where he was unused, it was right before we were playing a big team, right? We were playing Shandong, wanted to make sure that he was healthy for that one. We probably should have played him here against Shanghai Shenxin. I'm not sure if I remember why I didn't use him there. But this one right here against the Shanghai Huilong team that we destroyed, we wanted to not play him because we need him for Shanxi Chang'an, who are one of the, I guess there's only really 3 good teams in this league. And then right before the big game against Tianjin, of course, we had him not used actually for 2 games in a row. This was 3 games after the one before. And then for Suzhou, of course, we put a bunch of the kids out there. Anyway, it makes sense to me. It doesn't make too much sense to him. We probably should have had him in the second Wolfsburger game in retrospect. You live, you learn. And he's played well in everything. I mean, this guy is no joke, right? This guy's like really a good player. Everything here looks good, except for the rumors about him being a little bit unsettled. We go over here to his overview and look at his happiness. We can see that he's unhappy with the amount of game time he's been getting. He wants to play more. He expects to be playing as many matches as possible. And even though I really like players like Yi Jin-young, I'm probably going to have to give in to Lavia. And the reason why is a problem of my own creation, right? So if you go over to the hierarchy here, he's an influential player. He's also our vice captain. I made him our vice captain sort of on purpose. If we go back here to tactics and the captains. So this is one of the few places in this setup, in this skin, where you can actually see some sort of ratings and numbers. The reason why I made him vice captain is because he comes up here as one of the most captain-like players on the team, with a 12 for leadership, 14 for teamwork. We have Kashin as the captain, who's 12 and 12. The reason why I gave it to Kashin is because he's 22, he's a little bit older, and because I figure that guys like this, Chung Bin are probably not going to be around much, and he's really not that good at doing it either. Pak Myung-sung, I didn't really want him to do it either. And so Kashin, I think as long as this guy's going to be here, might as well put him up there. We could have used Shi Shu, but he's only like 16 years old. It wouldn't make much sense. But, of course, the effect of doing this is that when Lavia gets upset about something, everybody agrees with him, right? You see 7 players agreeing with him. The only player who disagrees and who thinks that he's not starting too few games is, of course, Yi Jin-young. And the reason why is because Yi Jin-young is the one who's been getting that game time. So it makes sense. Another thing to look at when you're trying to figure this out is that Lavia is in the core social group, which is growing. Kashin here is in that secondary social group. I think eventually these guys are going to move over to the core one. And Yi Jin-young, unfortunately, finds himself a little bit more on the outside. But we'll see what happens. That might change after a while. Now, if you want to address this, I just figured this out because I didn't know this before. Instead of going here to like team meeting, which will be about your next match, which probably should have its it should probably change in terms of how it's described. You can instead go to the squad view, go to concerns and happiness, Romeo Lavia, and wants to start more games. And boom, everybody here will come up. This is not him. These are the players who are upset about this. So apparently some of you are upset about this. They say that Romeo was asking for more playing time, and he clearly deserves it, and the way you treat him was really unfair. I can say a bunch of things like... you can dismiss their concerns completely. You can say I would have had to drop somebody else and they're more deserving than him in the moment and blah, blah, blah. I don't want this to be disruptive and all this other stuff. I don't really agree with any of that, actually. So I'm going to do the opposite here of what I just did with Torres in yesterday's video. I'm actually going to give in. And the easy thing to do is to give him what he wants, and we're going to go ahead and do that. I think that was very productive. Hopefully we've sorted this out, and everybody leaves this meeting then happy. And now if we go back down here, people are still a little bit upset about it, but there is a promise that has been made, and I should be able to see it up here. Yeah, promises. So actually, that's interesting. It's not showing up here at all. Maybe if we continue this once. I did create a promise to them. Here we go. Yeah, fair increase in playing time is right here. Romeo Lavia has seen this promise, and he's giving me, it looks like 61 days to potentially complete it. And he's looking forward to more playing time within the next few months. It's currently listed as D, I guess, for draw instead of W for win. That's a little bit of a strange way to handle it. Anyway, I'll take a look here at the screen just to see if anything else of interest comes up. But kind of the point behind this is that even though you want to make sure that you're a stern disciplinarian, you kind of also want to use your head when you're doing this. I mean, yeah, if the guy has a totally unreasonable demand that you know that you're not going to ever be able to meet, then yeah, don't make the promise. But for something like this, I mean, I look at it and I think, yeah, I mean, he does have a good point. We hired this guy to be a star and as a defensive midfielder. He's a very good player. I've not had a single match where I've looked at him and been thinking, what is he doing? Which is different from some of the other players that we have. You know, I mean, in that case, because I can see myself doing this, I could see myself just like saying, whatever, I'm just going to put you out every game until you fall apart. You know, who cares? And we do have good enough players to play in his place just in case he winds up not being able to start for one of these major, like, big matches. I think, well, okay, we'll go ahead and give in. It's a balancing act, right? And the thing that you got to worry about the most is, you know, if I don't give in to this, if I stay, you know, the course, and if I say, you know, whatever, I'm not going to listen to what this guy says at all, do I run the risk of potentially making this a bigger problem than it has to be? And so I'll just show you the screen here again for a second. As you can see, this is still the same thing it was before. He gives me 61 days left to give him that increase in playing time. Fortunately, the training facilities, coaching team are all improved, so all these guys are going to be happy. And then everybody's hoping that we'll be able to yo-yo between divisions or something like that. This is going to be okay, of course, because we're not only going to finish in the top of the first division table, we are going to wind up winning the first division this year. I can almost guarantee that the way that we've been playing. Anyway, there you go. That's sort of how to handle that, how to handle these promises and stuff when it comes up. It depends on your player, right? If they're not that influential, if they got a crappy personality, or if they've been playing really poorly, then, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter. But if there's somebody who's a good player and they've been playing well, and you're like, yeah, I do want to be fair, but at the same time, this guy really is playing well, you might want to think about giving in a little bit. Anyway, that's it for me today. I hope that you have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.